Welcome to Besiege Bots, the real home of robotic combat in Besiege. In this episode, we complete the round of 16 and find our final 4 members of the quarterfinals. We kick things off with a battle between 2 control bots whose rebuilds proved successful in the preliminaries, and close out with a main event between the team that placed 3rd last year and last year's champion. Bloodsaw put on a solid showing in its rumble, demonstrating its good control by beating out Tamale 3 and Bluebird. In this fight, they'll likely look for more of the same and may opt to use their Crusher setup against a fellow control bot. Bluebird got a significant overhaul coming into this year's competition and showed a stellar performance in the preliminaries. In this contest, they take on another bot that was remade with the tournament in Bloodsaw and look to show off their control skills again. We kick things off in the final episode from the round of 16 with Bluebird and Bloodsaw, 2 bots that were rebuilt in this tournament and come into this having won in the preliminaries, which is pretty impressive performances from both bots. Bloodsaw opting for the Crusher setup that I mentioned in the prelims for this fight against Bluebird. They aren't worried about a spinner in this one, so they're going with the Crusher. Since it's not as likely to get broken off against a flipper. They get a nice clamp down there. Bluebird got a nice flip early, but that's a really nice clamp. See if it can do any damage. It's trying, and they let go. Bluebird looking to get under. They have the longer forks on the front. Very good flip there. Big flip. Takes one of the downforce flying blocks off of Bloodsaw there. Bloodsaw thrown toward the pit. Not quite in. They managed to avoid it. Bloodsaw manages to dodge out of the way of a flip there. That was good. Good driving from both bots so far. It seems like the wedges are kind of partially getting under each other, but the prongs on the front of the flipper for Bluebird are actually managing to get under. That was good from Bloodsaw. They have very similar names. It's going to be quite confusing. Bloodsaw gets off the flipper. This time they're on top, it looks like, but Bluebird not going for a flip. Trying to wait to be in a better position. Bloodsaw managing to get under here, which is good for them. Bluebird kind of got under there and got a decent throw. Bloodsaw can't get up properly. Now they're back over. They get flipped again though before they can properly spring back up. Oh, and a good clamp from Bloodsaw, but part of Bloodsaw gets broken off by the flipper. Wow, it's quite a powerful flipper that Bluebird's got on it. Bloodsaw kind of getting thrown around a bit at the moment. Jockeying back for position, gonna look to get another clamp down, but Bluebird was under for a second there, but couldn't get the flip. They miss a flip there. Bloodsaw trying to get in, but unfortunately due to that missing side, they're getting out-wedged on that side now. It's a lot easier for Bluebird to get under them on that side. Bluebird having trouble though, and misses a flip. Bloodsaw gonna go for a clamp, but just the awkward kind of shape of Bluebird when it's got its flipper up like that. Manages to throw Bloodsaw again, but is having to flip itself back over now. So far, both bots driving pretty decently. I'd say Bloodsaw are actually driving better, but they just don't have the better wedge. So in spite of managing to avoid flips pretty well, and getting decent opportunities for clamps, they got a good clamp on this back wheel here. They're not able to rip it off. Another good flip for Bluebird. I'd say Bluebird has had most of the control in this match, just due to the big flips. Bloodsaw have done a good job of avoiding being thrown into the pit, but they are getting flipped around a lot. And they're struggling to get up there. Bluebird misses another flip, and that's time. We'll see how the judges saw that one. Aggression for Bloodsaw, control and damage for Bluebird, and style to Bloodsaw, but it's a 24-21 for Bluebird. I think it's the right call, and Bluebird will move on to the quarterfinals, and Bloodsaw is eliminated from Spring Bash Cup. Coolboy had a shaky start to the tournament, but bounced back with a commanding KO of Falconry. Last year's runner-up will look to continue its run back to the top by taking out a fellow horizontal spinner in Wasted 3. Wasted 3 had a good showing in its rumble, getting revenge on Tilted Disaster for eliminating them in last year's Spring Bash Cup. After beating the number 3 bot in the first round, they look to take down the number 2 bot from 2019 on their way to getting their first tournament crown. We're underway with fight number 2 here. We have Wasted against Coolboy, two big spinners. Last year's runner-up, Coolboy, who beat Tilted Disaster, who were the ones to eliminate Wasted last year, but Wasted managed to get revenge in the prelims on Tilted Disaster, winning by KO. Now they're looking to take out the runner-up. And if they win this, they'll, Coolboy's lost both its wheels. I'm not sure if it can actually drive on the cogs or not. It seems like it can't. Wow, this is a very quick win over last year's runner-up, it looks like. Well, he's still doing a bit of a dance there. Coolboy's being counted out, and that's it. Coolboy, last year's runner-up, eliminated in the round of 16 by Wasted. Wasted move on to the quarterfinals. Coolboy is eliminated. Croc and Orr managed to win out on a close decision against fellow crocodile-themed bot, Rogue. In this fight, the Hydra Initiative want to control another vertical spinner to show they are a rookie team that means serious business. Purple Heart picked up a good win in the redemption round, showing their durability by managing to outlast and KO Jawspin. It looks to do more of the same and will look to win by KO, whether that be by immobility, pit, or Uda against a solid bot in Croc and Orr. Here we are with fight number 3 between two pretty good bots so far. Purple Heart showing a lot of durability, but haven't really been able to show off their spinner so much. But they'll get a chance to in this one, since it's unlikely that Croc and Orr is going to be able to break the spinner. But Croc and Orr have shown really good driving for a new team. The Hydra Initiative done very well so far. Had a very close decision loss against Dippii, and then managed a pretty good win over Rogue. Purple Heart perhaps a little bit more reliable of a spinner than Rogue, but the shorter diameter means it's going to be harder for them to land hits without being able to out-wedge, and it doesn't look like their wedge is as good as Croc and Orr's is. So far, Purple Heart's doing a lot of driving around and a lot of missing. It's grinding on the front there, but Croc and Orr keep pushing it around. The advantage of the wheel type that Purple Heart has is that they have quite low friction, so they don't bounce very much. But also because of that, they get pushed around a lot more easily. Oh, good hit there. Pops Croc and Orr up, throws them toward the pit, but the driftiness kind of means they can't capitalize on getting them near the pit. Croc and Orr looking to close in. Managed to get to the side there, but can't quite. Here we go, they're in behind that wedge, which is really smart. Trying to sneak in, like, behind the wedges of Purple Heart means there's no chance they get hit by the spinners. They actually got out-wedged there, and they did the right thing by driving off the wedge. There they got up under Purple Heart and flipped them over. They do it again. Very good driving so far from Croc and Door. Purple Heart looking very drifty, which it always does. It's just getting out-wedged at every point, really. Croc and Door's being smart, not throwing that lifter up too much. There they get a good lift. Oh, they were trying to close in behind Purple Heart, but got stuck on the ramp a little bit there. They probably want to get behind and try and look for a clamp. Yeah, they're trying to get clamps on either the side or the back end of Purple Heart. So they get a hit there. Good little exchange. Purple Heart, I think, popped Croconaw up a little bit, and there's a good little throw. But they're not getting big throws, they're just getting these little throws. And Croconaw is having much more control. And even there, that's going to count as control and a flip for Croconaw, but it was really just because Purple Heart misdrove. Which is the danger of making a bot this fast, is it can be quite hard to control, even with the wheel style providing less bounce. Croconaw trying to get in. That's a good throw from Purple Heart there. Croconaw looking to close in on that backside. They get all stuck on the wall again. Their side blades seeming to be a little bit of a detriment at times. Oh, they have the flip here. And they close back in. They're doing a really good job of closing in and capitalizing and not giving Purple Heart a lot of space to get run-ups. Oh, they got all the way under there and they get a clamp. That's a nice clamp from Croconaw. They're going to eat some hits from Purple Heart. They have them stuck on top there. Purple Heart breaks that top thing off, and that's time. We'll see how the judges saw it. Damage slightly in favor of Purple Heart, but every other category in favor of Croconaw for a 25-20 decision. 10-5 on control. Croconaw moves into the round quarterfinals, and Purple Heart is eliminated from Spring Bash Cup. Last year's champion, Dippii, was able to win in its rumble despite a good challenge from Croconaw. In this round, Frogmint Robotics take on the third place bot from last year's tournament, who lost to the runner-up Coolboy and looked to prove they would have been champion no matter who emerged from the opposite side of the bracket. Tilted Disaster have had a lot of trouble getting going in this tournament, being KO'd by Wasted 3, who they eliminated last year, and barely scraping a win over Cocobird. But they have a chance to silence the doubters here by taking out last year's champion, Dippii. Here we go with the main event for episode 12 and the final fight of our round of 16. And it's a good fight. We have last year's third place finisher in Tilted Disaster taking on Dippii, who was last year's champion. They didn't fight in last year's tournament, so it'll be an interesting matchup to see. Oh, and a good hit early from Tilted Disaster. Dippii was trying to use the back to control, which is probably not what they want. They don't want to eat hits on that back part of their chassis. They'd rather take it on the wedge and the flipper arm. A big flip from Dippii there. Tilted doesn't fly as close to the pit as I might have thought they would. It's a couple missed flips from Dippii. And another one there. They get themselves off the wall. Tilted trying to regain the center of the arena. They don't want to be too close to that pit. Oh, and Dippii flings them. Oh, and they barely avoid going into the pit. Tilted Disaster trying to get up here. Dippii pushes them ever so closer to the pit. They managed to actually get down. Dippii maybe could have been aggressive there and tried to look to throw them in. But the champ playing it cautious. Not a bad idea. They are pretty durable. Ooh, and a big hit from Tilted Disaster gets in like underneath the flipper arm, I think. Dippii looking to get in. They flip there. It's a good throw. Tilted off balance, which it does do when it gets into those weird positions. Starts the gyro from the spinner. Affects it. Dippii closing it. It seems like maybe Tilted Disaster's taken some damage because the frame seems to be jiggling a little bit where it shouldn't be. Yeah, I think maybe the right side of the frame has taken some damage. Or perhaps the weapon mount. I'm not entirely sure. Dippii closing in here. Eats a hit onto that flipper, but nothing major. Dippii's wedge does seem to be significantly better, and they're getting under, both because Tilted Disaster's spinner is bouncing them up, and because their wedge is better. But Dippii pretty much in control of this one so far, hasn't taken any significant damage. Really good performance from last year's champion. And they had a good performance in the prelims as well. It was, Croc and all kept them honest, but it was still a good performance from Dippii. And they're really showing off, showing that it didn't matter who came through the other side of the bracket, they probably would have won last year regardless. Yeah, I think it's the weapon mount that's damaged, and there it goes, the whole weapon comes off. Yeah, it was the weapon mount that was damaged on Tilted. This is what happened to them against Bluebird too, in effect, but this time they're against a control bot instead of a spinner with good turn speed, so they're probably not going to be able to control Dippii the way they did against Bluebird. Dippii just backing away from the pit, don't want any risk of them getting thrown in. Tilted actually is doing a good job getting behind that wedge. It almost seems like the driver does a much better job when the spinner's off. And Dippii under here pushes them close to the wall, and they went very high there, and they're out. That's an Uda KO for Dippii, who move on to the quarterfinals to try and defend their crown, and Tilted Disaster eliminated in the round of 16. That's it for this episode. Our 4 bots heading into the quarterfinals are Bluebird, Wasted 3, Croc and Or, and Dippii. Our final 4 bots eliminated from this round are Bloodsaw, Cool Boy, Purple Heart, and Tilted Disaster. In the next episode, we will kick off the quarterfinals with the lightweights. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. If you're interested in joining our community, follow the Discord link in the description. From everyone in the Besiege Bots Discord, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.